Grace and peace, my beloved friends. Welcome to another week of Love on Purpose with Pastor Roz. I am Roz Brown from Richmond, Virginia, and I am so happy that you have joined me for another word for the week. And what is the word for the week? The word for the week is a word that'll help you live better, live stronger, love better, love stronger, and hopefully help you make it through the week. And what is the word for this week? The word for this week is be holy. That's right. The word for this week is be holy. This is Holy Week, and I want to remind you to be holy. The Bible says in the book of Hebrews, chapter number 12 and verse number 14, in the second part, the B clause, it says, work at living a holy life, because those who, or for those who are not holy, will not see the Lord. It says work at living a holy life. To be holy means to be sanctified or set apart or dedicated or consecrated unto God. It means you set yourself apart and give yourself to God, and you work at basically being your best for God, or being your best at living for God. This is Holy Week. It's the week that we remember what Jesus Christ did for us at Calvary, where we walk the walk that Jesus walked on his road to Calvary and to the resurrection. But in thinking about holiness, a wise man once said, a wise teacher, his name is Jim Rohn. I love his teachings, and he said it often in many of his teachings. He said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. And so many times we wish work was easier. We wish life was easier. We wish dealing with our children was easier. We wish our classes were easier. We wish our marriage and our spouses was easier. We just wish that life would be easy. But he says, don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. And sometimes we have to work at being better, the desire or what's inside of us. I believe being holy is striving for excellence, is trying to do better in our home life, doing better, physically, and in our eating habits. Wish you were better this week. Wish you were better and do something to eat better. Wish you were better and drink more water. Wish you were better and go to bed earlier and get some rest tonight. Wish you were better and just be kinder to someone that you come in contact with. Don't wish life were easier. I believe being holy is being better. And this week I want you to strive to just be better. Be a better listener. Be a better parent. Be a better wife. Be a better husband. Be a better administrator on your job. Be better at getting to work on time. Be better at getting to church on time. Talking to the choir. Be better. Don't wish it was easier. Study this week. If you know you need to study, let this be a week where you take the time to study. If you know that you need to finish reading that book or start reading that book, let this be a week where you start it. Where you know you need to exercise, be better. Exercise. I believe being holy means a desire and striving to be better. It says work at living a holy life. Means pursue holiness, pursue peace, and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Those that are not holy will not see the Lord. If you want to see the Lord, if you want a relationship with the Lord, if you want what God desires for us, we've got to work at being holy, which means being better. Be better. If you know you want to spend more time in devotion with the Lord in your morning devotion, be better. Be better this week. If you know you need to walk and you keep saying, I'm going to start walking, I'm going to start this week, be better. I believe to be holy means to be better. And that's my word for you this week. Be holy. this is a week that we should think about. This is Holy Week, and Holy Week should put something on the inside of you and me to be better. And with all of that being said, I want you to have a wonderful week in Jesus. I want you to have a holy week in Jesus. Be holy, beloved. It's Holy Week. Be holy. Be blessed, beloved. Be sweet, beloved. Until next week, beloved, have a wonderful week in Jesus and embrace the magnificent love, peace, and blessings all over your life. Until we meet again. When we meet again, it'll be Resurrection Sunday. This is Palm Sunday. Be holy.